enjoy every bit of it. Now, 2 of my children were actually born here. The other 2 were transplants like I was, so they've been learning but have taken to it like a duck in water, and are great helping out. They help with chores. I think it's great because it's teaching them definitely a work ethic that probably a lot of kids aren't getting nowadays. Hard workers are hard to find, so I'm hoping that my kids will be the exception to that rule. But some of the work they do, it would be, I think, hard pressed to get a lot of teenagers to do that work, or even adults. They help out quite a bit. So, and they just have a knowledge that I think a lot of kids and adults don't have as well.
They know where their food comes from.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's important.
Yes, absolutely.
They'll be the leaders of tomorrow because they'll be like, hey, we've been doing this since we were in diapers. What are you talking about?
I hope so. But, you know, it's really, I think there's a lot of misconceptions with kids. We've got a lot of work to do in a lot of ways, but when we do tours and we have kids come out here, you know, we'll ask them, okay, well, these, you know, are beef cows, so do you know what you get from a beef cow? And surprisingly enough, a lot of them give you, you know, great answers, and they're dead on. So I don't think we're nearly as bad off as we may think we are sometimes, but we still got a lot of ground to catch up with.
Yeah, so what do they say, like steak and hamburger and all the typical things you would expect most people to know, but is not always common knowledge.
Right, absolutely. So I think it's wonderful, the strides. I think a lot of kids are making up a lot of ground. The farm to school movement, I think a lot of schools are really catching on with that and doing a lot to educate the kids about where their food comes from and just better eating habits.
Farm to school movement, is that something that local farmers it's like an organization or something? What is that?
That is actually a lot. Here in South Carolina, I know that they have introduced a farm to school bill. In the upstate, we have a really active farm to school program in Anderson. I know Spartanburg has done local food for a week. That is something also that's being done.
Oh, where they serve it in the schools?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And then...
should do that all the time.
Yeah, I know. And the nutritional components, the educational components that they, you know, incorporate, the school gardens, and the kids actually plant things, grow it, and harvest it. So that's been, I mean, phenomenal for these kids.
So do you find any challenges during those weeks? Because I know they still have to stay within their budget and they still have to stay within, I guess, the nutritional mandates brought on by the government.
Right.
Do you find that they have trouble trying to do that with real food, or do they incorporate it pretty easily?
You know, the latest farm bill allowed for local sourcing, or I'm sorry, preferential local bidding. I'm saying that wrong.
I know what you mean.
Yes, where they could go local if they wanted to, even if it's not the cheapest, they can still source local. But a lot of times the local guys can meet or beat, you know, whatever's being shipped in from California, Florida, or out of the country in some cases.
Right.
So, with the cost of gasoline being what it is, it's kind of leveled the playing field.
Yeah, you should go local.
Yes, absolutely. The type of cows that we raise are Red Devons. And Red Devons actually originated in Phoenicia with the Africans. And then as civilizations rise and fall, the Roman civilization took over that area. The cows were brought up into the Great Britain area. So for that reason, these cows are really well adapted to the heat and then also to the cool weather, which makes it really nice.
Yeah.
Especially after the harsh winter we had.
Sure.
And these cows are relatively small, so they're easy to handle. They're not aggressive. They're extremely docile. So they're just great cows. They're known to finish really well on grass.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, you know, sometimes they raise them, grain feed them, and then finish them on grass. Everybody has different methods, but...
Tell us what that means, finishing on grass. A lot of people don't understand that terminology.
Right. So closer to the time where you're going to process, you would just separate the cows and make sure that they're on a high forage and that they're getting as much as they can just before processing.
So it's basically, I guess, fattening them up right before you take them to the slaughter.
Yeah, and then, you know, some people will raise them on grass and then finish them on grain. But these cows, they just do really, really well. They marble really nice on the grass, so it's just been a wonderful experience for us. And
What's the lifespan of these cows? How long do you raise them before you take them to be processed?
right, generally it's around 2 years. You go by weight. I mean, it could be anywhere from 1.5 years to 2 years. So if you're breeding cows, you're waiting a long time before that cow's ready. So, because you're breeding, you're feeding the cow, and then waiting for her to give birth, and then you've got another 2 years. So that's why a lot of people just raise steers. We have 2 bulls on the premises, and the rest are cows and steers.
The bulls aren't here anywhere. They're gonna like charge at us somewhere. Okay.
No, no. Oh, you know what? There's one up there.
Okay, I'm running.
They weren't hiding for us. They were hiding in plain sight. But they're just hanging out here. They've had their fill of grass and foraging, and so they're just chilling.
Don't blame them.
Chewing their cud.
Don't blame them at all.
They're saying, what are y'all doing here?
Hey, we want to stay cool too.
It is a lot cooler in here. They're smart, aren't they?
Yes. You gonna give me a stretch?
Yeah.
Hey, little one. So is it kind of a size thing?
It is, and
More than an age thing, I guess?
yeah, especially with grass-fed, just because, you know, they're not going to get as big as your grain-fed cows are.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, so you look for the size, and you got to keep the age in mind too, just because you don't, you know, want an old cow.
Does the older cow, I guess, produce tougher meat? Is that how it works?
Yeah. Yep. Obviously, you want to process as young as you can, but still have a high yield.
Yeah. So after you process these animals, you say you have 17 heads right now. How do you get new ones other than, I guess, birthing them?
Oh, well, that's 17 including our breed stock, our bulls, and our steers.
Ah.
Yes, so that's
I got
everything. No, we will not process all 17. I believe we had 5 steer born last year, so we'll probably get that many, maybe a little bit more this year. So, yeah, we're working on building our herd up. We're just, it's a small herd right now, so we're doing the best we can but you can't make them grow any faster.
Right,
Than what they're
and
doing.
nor should you.
Yes.
Nor should you. You need to let nature take its course.
Yes.
I was just thinking that if all of a sudden you got this big run on grass-fed meat and all this food that you're promoting here on your farm, wouldn't you run out at some point?
Oh, yes, and we have to source from other local farmers that have the same growing methods we do, so that we can offer, you know, to be able to meet the demand. And
I suppose you're that way with other farmers as well. If
Yes.
they need more because of the higher demand where they are, they'll come to Live Oak Farms and say, help us out.
Right, absolutely. So that's the great thing about partnering and networking with your local guys, is just to be able to work with them, and that's what it's all about. You know, we lean on each other. That's what our store is about, because you know, we raise beef, chicken, lamb, turkey, and eggs. Well, that would be kind of boring to come to a store for those 5 things. So that's why, you know, we work with all of the local farms in the upstate, and the ones that, you know, are not using any growth hormones or antibiotics, or not spraying anything down. They're raising their produce organically. And so people appreciate that, and they're able to come to one place and kind of get it all in one spot.
So how many farmers like yourself that use the same methods are there, I guess, within your sphere of influence in the upstate of South Carolina?
There's actually quite a few. I think the last count was around 12 farms that we're working with.
Yeah.
Those are not just meat producers. Those are going to be other products that we have in the store
Right.
as well.
Raw
So
milk.
including produce, raw milk, dairy, bread.
Saw you had some raw honey in there too, fresh honey.
Yes, absolutely. So it's a number of farms that we're working with, and so we're really pleased. We want to see that number grow.
Yeah.